What's up? It's your boy, the Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing that oh so amazing touch. And I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Get Ready For It podcast, season 3. You guys, this is a first here. I'm here kind of like by myself. I'm the only host in the building. Savage XL, he had to take care of some genitational duties, and also KP is paying some bills. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. He's handled all the maintenance and stuff like that. But we have a couple amazing people in the building. We have a familiar face in the building, or voice, I should say. My boy Bebe. What's up, Brandon?
Hi, people of America.
How are you doing today?
I'm trying to make
You look so lovely with your jacket and stuff like that, and your ponytail and your haircut.
Cut your BS.
I'm just giving you compliments to
Thank
buddy
you
up,
so
because
much.
hopefully
That's
you'll be
really,
nice
really
to me.
Enlightening.
You be kind to me today.
In a different world.
Okay. Anyway, he actually brought along 2 of his friends with him as well. We got my boy Aaron Braxton.
How y'all doing?
In the building, and also my boy Bobby.
Hi, I'm new here.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Today's topic, you guys, is a topic that is highly requested. This is I think this is
Who requested?
A lot of people.
Who was a lot?
Me.
You're not a lot.
I am a lot.
Are you talking about your body mass?
Pretty much.
Okay.
See, we agree. We're agreeing on things here. Anyway, we're talking about the LGBTQ community. Did I say that right, Brandon?
No, you missed the 1.2 and the A's and the I's and the Q's.
Yeah, there's an IA and there's a plus.
Is there really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm going to learn today. You guys are going to educate me on
Too much for me.
Too much. Yeah, it's a little bit too much for me because I didn't
Like
know
a
there was
booking number.
I didn't know the Q was in there until recently. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this off. I'm going to start off with a couple why questions. Okay. Why is masculinity so sought after in the LGBT community? Oh, okay. I'm just wrong. Let me shut up and just talk. Go ahead, Brandon.
I don't want no bitch.
Yeah, you're more dainty, man. So
I just don't want no bitch. It is what it is. You have to be. I need to know that you can rough me up.
Okay.
Like I need to know that you can. If I say, I don't know.
Okay, preference.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay,
but it
I
don't
can
be that
understand
way.
that.
Bobby.
I think it goes back to this whole idea of, you might hear this a few times from me today, heteronormity, where people, even gay men, we as a society have an example of what a relationship is modeled after because it's majority men and women. Exactly. And we try to apply that to our relationships as well because, we're men and we're attracted to like the macho guy and, that's what the media gives. And when you see gay men portrayed, if they're quote unquote attractive, then they're masculine. But if they're just like a regular gay character, then they're super flamboyant and fishy and they're not like deemed as like something that you would want to be with. They're just like, oh, hey girl.
What does fishy mean?
What does fishy mean?
Uh-huh.
It's like
Cunty.
Cunty gives girl, gives femininity, gives it gives fish.
Okay.
Wamana.
Okay. Aaron, did you give your opinion on that?
It's a lot that can go into that. That rabbit hole goes really deep. So masculinity can be sought after because of someone who wants to feel secure. They didn't have that growing up. A lot of people, if you kind of look at it, most women end up with a man who's kind of like their father. It's the same thing with male on male, female on female. Most people who we end up getting with, they give us a sense of security or they emulate something that we've already had throughout our life and just can get enough of. Masculinity, that could go so many ways though. That's a huge conversation. But just like he said, like most people, I think it goes into preference at that point. When you want to get with someone who is masculine, it's because you prefer masculinity. Most guys who prefer masculinity are usually the ones who are feminine. So they want someone who's going to offset that.
Okay. No, I think out of every opinion, I think I agree with yours the most. I think that's the reason why I think people find a hard, rough neck, somebody that's going to choke them up.
Is that what you prefer?
Huh? I do not.
What do you prefer?
I prefer a more, let's say, submissive person.
Submissive.
Yeah, submissive.
Submissive but not feminine?
I have,
don't
you know, it
have
was
to
so
be
crazy
feminine
when
to
I
be
was younger.
submissive.
Femininity used to really bother me in a man. I used to be like, I'm not going to go for that. But the older I got, the more I was like, okay, go ahead, put a little makeup on. That's fine.
So you identify submissiveness with femininity?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Final answer.
Oh wow. Okay.
Going to the next question. Why do gay people find it important to find out another gay person's position?
Well, if you're interested in having sex with them, then you kind of need to know if you guys are gonna match. Like,
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that because some people give it a bullshit answer.
What?
Some people give, like, somebody was online the other day, like, I don't think it's appropriate for one of the first questions to be a person's position. But if you're not really matched together, why would you not ask?
I mean, I agree with that, but
No, I don't agree with that. I think it's important.
it's
And
important.
I-
But the
no,
first
and-
question,
but-
don't ask me that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the very first question that y'all have. I mean, on a date set, in a date setting while y'all, having conversation, I think that should be something you bring up.
Yes.
Because if not, and you wait too late and y'all are into each other, and then you get in the bedroom and you looking like, okay, you finna bend over because I ain't, or you finna do it is an appropriate question. And I think we try to make it seem like it's an issue because it has to do with sex, but it's not. It's a big thing. It could be a deal breaker.
I feel like it can too. I agree with that.
Yeah, everybody has their own, sexual preference, and if that's not talked about, it can be confusing later. Me and you've had that conversation before. I hate people who don't have that conversation because they feel like it's inappropriate. It's not inappropriate.
So when do you ask that question, Brandon? Is it first date, second date, through text message while you guys are in the talking phase? When do you ask that question?
Actually, I'm very strategic with what I ask and how I ask it. So, I mean, for me, it's never, I'm not going to say it's never in the first conversation. I probably know more about you than you already want to tell me. So before our first date, I've already did my due diligence on you. So I know who you slept with, how you slept with them, and all that other good stuff.
So you do research.
come through
Absolutely.
FBI checks.
Absolutely.
What about you, Bobby?
You will not.
I don't really know how to answer this question because my dating experience is limited, so it's never really something that come up. It just kind of like has been like a happenstance. Oh, well, you're this and I'm the opposite, so we go well together. Yeah.
I feel like I'm asking probably in the early talking stages.
Oh, in the
Early talking stages.
early talking stages, I still already know
I
a
think
lot about
I'm
you.
probably asking probably like 2 weeks in.
2 weeks is kind of far.
You
That's
think
a long time.
That is?
That is.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
That's a long
I
time.
thought that
In
was too early.
But
Okay.
in 2 weeks of a connection you can get with the person, and then you wait 2 weeks later to ask that person, and now it's awkward because it's like, okay, I really like this person because I've been enjoying our text conversation. I've been having a good time with our dates, our video chats or whatever the case may be, and I've waited 2 weeks to ask you something that could be a total deal breaker for us.
But I don't think it's really ever a question. I think it's something that just happens. Like,
I think it's a question. I
It's
need to know.
definitely
in
a
a
question
perfect
with
world,
me.
it is a question, but like through like texting and stuff, it's like, okay, so what do you like to do? How's your day going? And you're gonna have that little slide text message to show me what you got on right now. What you sent me is what I'm gonna know. I'm gonna be like, oh, so you
so you like to word it different. You like to.
so
okay.
you're sending thongs. Okay, duly noted. Out of
But
here.
that can be that's not 100% because somebody can have
Have you
a
slid?
certain part of their body to where they feel more comfortable with. A top may have his asset made he gets more attention by someone looking at his ass,
I'm gonna have a problem.
and he may send you an ass pic, but
If you
nobody ever plays with it. You're gonna automatically assume that he's a bottom because he's sending you an ass pic, but that may not be the case.
Absolutely. You better not send him off.
It's all about insinuation.
If you send me an ass pic, I'm gonna think you about him.
Oh, of course. Of course. That's what I'm saying. That's what we've come to, the normacy of it. If you send me a dick pic, okay, he got to be a top. No, that could probably just be my best asset. That's why I'm sending you that.
I mean, best assets. I mean, I don't
It could be.
I mean, I have a few great assets, but I don't send them out. That's not.
But
You
we're
have
all,
to
what
ask.
we send what we're comfortable with. If you ever pay attention to people, we send what we're comfortable with. You're not going to send a picture of an upper body pic if you don't like the way your upper body looks. You're not going to send a lower body pic if you don't like the way your lower body looks. We all send what we're comfortable with. We all have something on our body that is we think is perfect on us. Someone may only send you face pics because they don't like their body. It's not necessarily because they're fat. It's just they're not comfortable with that part of their body.
Have you ever received a picture of only your face, and then when you met them in person, it was like, this fat bitch?
Of course. But I wouldn't say that. But,
well, not that, but you know in your brain.
Okay, but then you kind of understand, okay, maybe he's only sent me this because of
it's the
this
extra
reason. I just say we in this lifestyle, we insinuate a lot. And I think that's why we end up in a lot of the situations we get into because we don't want to ask questions. We sit and try to leave everything up to let me try to figure it out. Why try to figure it out when I can sit here and ask you?
I agree.
You feel that? Has that been an experience for you that people are like try to dance around?
A lot, yes. All the time.
I agree with that.
That happens a lot in this lifestyle.
Really, I feel like the gay is real straightforward.
No,
catfish.
I want to hit, and that's it.
We no.
Especially on the apps, like
see, social media can be something different because
social
there's
media, the apps.
That's still social media.
I feel like they're more direct on the apps.
No, that's still something you can hide behind, though. That's still something you can hide behind. It's the difference when you're talking to somebody through a text message rather than being face to face. Now I have to really face you. Look at how you feel. See your face of how I'm coming off to you. It's a difference. Some people stay and hide behind social media because that's where they feel comfortable. They can't take sitting in front of someone and being honest because now I got to look at how they're gonna look at me. There's nothing to hide behind. So that's what make people lie when you don't have that backbone in person as you would on social media. See, I can sit in front of you and say, hey, what you just said to me was foul.
I agree.
And I can take with however you look. But on social media, if I thought it was foul, now I'm a keyboard gangster. I'm finna send you this whole paragraph saying everything I really want to say. But some people can't convey that in person. It's the same thing.
I'm with it.
So I guess a follow-up question is, then why do people shame people that bottom or bottoms that prefer just the bottom?
I think it's just a matter of the whole masculinity thing. They don't want to be looked at as like, because I guess that when you look at it or when you imagine a bottom, you immediately go to the woman or the bitch or whatever verbiage you want to use. And I mean, some people just don't want to be portrayed that way. Me personally, I don't care what you call me.
Yeah,
I know what I answer to.
I agree with you. I think it has to go back to the role playing in a heterosexual relationship. They look at, okay, the person who's taking has to be the more feminine one, washing the dishes, cooking and stuff like that. How do you feel about that, Bobby?
Exactly. It definitely goes back to the heteronormity that I was talking about and how, it's like even in heterosexual relationships, women are, they're like second to what the man wants or what he desires because he has the penis. So in a gay, relationship, the bottom is like the submissive one, the lesser one, and it's shamed when they are promiscuous. It's shamed when, they're just seen kind of like as.
I had this conversation yesterday. Oh my
God. What about you?
Us in creation, we are men. Men are looked at as the more dominant species on earth. Let's just call it what it is. That's what it looks like. So when a man is bending over and doing something, as they go back to heterosexual normacy.
Sometimes you ain't got to bend over, though.
And taking something that a female would probably do in a heterosexual relationship, it's looked at as though he is less than. You're taking his manhood, so to say. Mm-hmm. That's how people look at it. So that's why a lot of people are embarrassed to say, "Oh, well, I'm a bottom," or "Oh, he a bottom," so that makes him a woman or sister.
They
or
hurl it as insult.
I think tearing down your masculinity, right? That tearing down your masculinity. You're less than a man if that is what you're doing.
It's also, if you want to get like deeper into it, kind of like a form of femphobia, but also like what's that woman hating, because it's like if you associate feminine men with women and they are associated with women, it's like you also kind of don't like women, in a sense, or don't like anything feminine. But women are predominantly feminine, so it's like, you know, deep down, how, it kind of, well, in my head, that's kind of that way. It's weird.
I'm going to skip down a little and ask this question. Why do gay people refer to an asshole as a pussy?
It's a hole.
Right,
So
right,
again,
right.
It goes back to the whole conversation of heterosexual normacy.
But why do they refer that and use the word pussy as because that's completely two different things?
Because a woman's hole is her pussy, even though for a man it's his asshole, but his hole again goes back to heterosexual normacy. That's what you grow. In most households, again, I get there's a rarity where you have one single parent or what have you, but in a household there is a man and a woman. Man has the pole and a woman has the hole. That's how it goes. So so in a gay lifestyle, when another masculine man get with another feminine man who bottoms, that is why they call it a pussy, because in terms of a woman, she has one. So if he's playing the role of a woman in the relationship, then most likely that's what they're going to call it. That's what he has.
Brandon, I have a question. So has anybody ever, referred to your situation as a pussy?
Situation.
I mean,
and how did it make you feel if they did? Does that make you feel more dainty and like?
Oh no, I've never felt dainty about it. I mean, it gets the job done.
So
but
you
I
enjoy
mean,
it?
It's a yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I mean, I don't. Me personally, I don't. I mean, I'm okay with it if that's what you want to. Hey, if you want to, pussy is what it is. It's what you. It's okay. However, I give my stuff other names. Like I have different names. So
okay.
Those names tend to
the
come
femme
up.
girls probably started that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a thing that you throw out. It doesn't really have too much meaning versus like a man or a top saying it who might be bi or does sometimes still have relations with women, so maybe they might call it that just as a coping mechanism. Oh yeah, give me that pussy, but it's like, but you're in someone's asshole.
I just want people to understand they are two different things. They not the same.
And I
so
think
many
they
ways.
know that.
And when y'all, I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep it to myself.
What?
When that white stuff be coming out y'all asses, that's not necessarily the same thing that comes out of vagina.
That is absolutely correct. It's not the same thing. Yeah. I mean, we had a discussion about what that stuff is yesterday. But I mean,
that's a sign that you're probably bottoming a little
too much.
Yeah, a little.
That's not cream. That's not what. That's sure.
But guess what? Humans they typically tend to
take a negative and turn it to the positive.
Right. They give other words and all that good stuff. That whole good jive.
Oh my God. Okay. Why is there only one type of gay man shown on TV? When I ask that question, I mean, normally if you watch a TV show and there's a gay man, typically he's the hairstylist or the makeup artist, or he's the person carrying the bag, and he's very typically hyper effeminate. Why do you think that's the only type of gay that's typically shown?
It's a money scheme to me. Okay. But that has since changed. Like, I
you
mean,
yes.
Give
me
absolutely.
some names.
Like on Star, yes, you would see Lawrence with the whole purse and the salon. However, on Power, you don't see that. You see I forgot his freaking name. Drew, right. You see Drew, who's a part of the whole like drug family and all that stuff. And I mean, the dude that he's dealing with is obviously a basketball player, and they're both masculine. They don't display the whole like femininity. However, they are just like, I guess like nerdy-ish in a sense.
But on P Valley, they show that man that be dressing up in wigs and have a full beard on. What's up with that?
Leave her alone. She about her business. And I ain't mad at him.
But that exists. I feel like that the whole thing that you describe about one type of person on TV, that comes from heterosexual people writing gay roles, and it's like, well, this is the only thing I've been exposed to, so I'm just gonna write that, not knowing that there are different variances to gay people, different types of gay men. And I think that I think there are two types of gay men you see on TV. You see the hairstylist, the super flamboyant feminine one, but you also see the closeted homosexual, like Drew's boyfriend, like you said on Power. Like Drew, I like because he's just like, I'm gay, I don't have a problem with it. I'll kill you. I'll shoot you. Like, don't fuck with me.
My
But
nigga.
his boyfriend or the guy he likes is like, oh, I'm trying to make this work. And, that same tired ass closeted relationship. I want to be with you, but I can't be gay. And it's like, girl, this is tired. Like, both of those stereotypes are tired. I'm sick of it.
I believe that, and I agree with you with that as well. But dealing with heterosexual people, the reason why we're written into so many roles like that is because they fear what they don't understand, and they're comfortable with that. They want to be able to walk in a room and be able to look and say, okay, he's gay. They fear the men who can't do that with. If they can't pinpoint or say, okay, he's gay or he's whatever, it makes them uncomfortable. And I've seen it all too many times, even in the workplace with myself. Those women who find out that, oh, he's gay, utter not even 3 words to me anymore. But before it was okay. Conversation, bringing me food, everything is fine, gravy. But then the minute they find out that, he gay, it's out of there. But they're okay with those guys at work who they can sit and slap 5 with, or, say, hey, girl, calling the men girl, or, saying, what's up, chick, to this man. They're okay with that because they know he's gay.
Do you guys
It's not a threat to them.
Do you guys have an issue when a female calls you girl?
Oh,
I don't.
I do.
If I don't
like
know
it. I don't
her,
like it.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
don't call me that.
Don't like when they're super comfortable and they know you're gay and they just come in and be like, hey, girl, come on, let's go shopping. I'm like, girl, I know you. I don't mind it, though. Like, if I have a friend who's like, hey, girl, I'll be like, oh, hey, girl. I don't mind.
I don't like it at all.
I guess I don't mind it because I do hair. So, I mean,
I don't like it at all.
it's a second nature thing.
One
to
time
me.
a girl was like, hey, Judy. I was like, who the fuck is a Judy?
That's white gays.
I don't like
I
that.
I don't like that. I don't like
That's
that shit
fair.
at all.
I don't like that. Don't call me no
So
Judy.
I've heard
don't mind
black
that,
people call people Judies before.
Yeah, she was black. She was
That
like,
is
hey,
true.
Judy. I'm like, who the fuck is a Judy?
Yeah, I've heard that's kind of like an old terminology,
very old.
good Judy or
Judy
whatever.
Garland, yeah.
But I've heard it before.
Why do you guys think the black church is so against the LGBT community?
I'm not gonna say black churches. I think it's all churches.
I want to specify black because we're all black on this cast right now.
Oh wow.
I'm just being honest with you. I can't talk about no white people. I mean, Caucasian. Excuse me. Apologize.
Yes, because I have a white aunt.
I understand, and
that's
I corrected myself. Why do you guys think they are so against? Because I feel like they are very heavily against. I think the church is one of the primary reasons why gay people don't come out. It's black people.
Oh, definitely.
I'm pretty sure, but I mean, I still go back to say I think it's all religions, not just the black ones. I mean, I feel like because we are black, we're automatically grouped to be so strong. So I guess anything that is said from a black, it's already like, oh, bitch, it's heightened. But if you go to a white church and they say the same goddamn thing, it's like, oh, okay. So I think because we're black, that already puts us.
Well, black is what we know.
Yes.
It's what we live.
But if you go into a white church and they're preaching the same exact thing, you would probably take that black preacher and feel more so like, oh my God, than the white preacher who said the same exact thing.
I feel like you hear more about the black church disowning gay people than the white. I'm just my experience. I just
Actually,
feel like
it's a
there's
lot
more.
of white churches
But
that
it's,
disown
again,
you a lot
it's what
more.
we know.
But yeah,
Like it's our normalcy is black. It's what we see. It's what we know. I don't really talk about religion too much because I get real passionate about this conversation because I think we pick and choose what we want to follow in the Bible, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
So
but I'm like,
the
we were
same
around before
Christians
that.
who Bible thumping at me about, oh, you're going to hell, your life's an abomination. Okay, well, stop perming your hair. Stop tattooing yourself. Stop eating shellfish. Like, if we want to sit here, because no sin is greater than the other. So if we want to sit here and talk about that, let's talk about the whole Bible. Don't dissect and pull what you want from there.
I agree.
Preach. Okay, I want to move on to another segment. The next segment is called What Straight People Want to Ask the LGBT Community. There's a couple of questions that I found online that straight people want to know about the gay lifestyle. We're going to ask a couple.
I don't want to tell you.
When did you realize you were gay?
Oh, that's easy. I knew for years. I knew when I was young. I mean, even though I was doing other stuff to kind of like cover it up, knew. I knew it like elementary. Like, it was obvious.
Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, I would say I was young when I realized it, but I I really realized it when I started to get aroused by Jet Jackson.
Oh my God, the famous Jet Jackson.
Yeah, and
I
I just knew right then. I was like, yeah, I'm gay as hell.
What about you, Bobby?
I feel like I've known for ever, like at a young age, but I didn't realize what it was until probably like 5th grade, middle school. And I was like, oh, because I had 2 best friends, and I used to tell myself that one was a guy and one was a girl, and I was like, I love them both. I wanted to date both of them, but really, I was just like after the boy. But
Yeah, I think you know when you like young, like you'd be like, okay, yeah, something's going on here.
Yeah.
Do you find your straight friends attractive?
Yes.
I have.
straight friends.
I have a lot of straight friends, and some of them are attractive. However, I would never push that envelope. Never.
See, I don't find my straight friends attractive.
That's cute for you.
Do you feel like that is a subconscious choice to like not have attractive straight friends? Because I feel like a person's sexuality is not necessarily a prerequisite for like how someone's attractive.
It's not, but I think for me, once I build a relationship with you as my friend, I think at that point, all of that starts to kind of fall away from me.
For me, yeah, I feel
Because
like it's. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't do that kind of thing with my friends. So it's like, okay, you kind of put in this box over here. This is my friend. So I don't even look at you like that.
But that's not that's not as far as like do you find somebody attractive? Like I find tons of men attractive that I don't want anything to do with. It's like, oh, he's attractive, but I'm not attracted to him.
Okay, yeah. That's 2 different things. You're absolutely right. So yeah, I have some good looking ass straight friends.
Right.
Yeah, I would say I do too.
But if we, yeah.
I have a lot of straight friends too, but I think for me, as soon as what's what I was gonna say it. Like I don't like to seek after something I know I can't get, so it's like automatically in my mind. It's
that
like,
is a
so
lie.
I guess
You are
that's my thing.
human.
For me, that's
For
how,
you
yes.
like to still seek things that you cannot have.
not in that whole a straight person. Let me try to see if I can get that person type of vibe.
Okay.
No, I don't feel that.
So you're saying if you saw an attractive straight person and they were trying to pursue a friendship with you, you'd be like, no.
No, I'll still be friends with them. I mean, I'm talking about I'd be like attracted to a person, like wanting somebody.
But it's okay if you are and you do.
But that's not how I feel though.
Okay.
Yeah, my straight friends are attractive.
All of my straight friends are attractive.
I mean, you can call somebody beautiful or handsome and not.
No.
I'm confused. Okay,
I
the word
know
attractive and handsome is totally different.
I think
Right.
we're confusing attraction with desire.
Okay.
We are.
I think that's what maybe you're
because
saying.
I can
I think
see
you're right,
somebody
yeah.
and think they're attractive and not want them.
Okay, Brandon, just different work. Dang, get me together then. Okay, anyway, moving on to the next question, man. Have you ever been attracted to a woman?
Yes.
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 You have?
I have had quite a few girlfriends. Actually, one of my girlfriends is gay. That's my boo. I love her.
Yeah, that's weird. One of my high school girlfriends are now gay. Yeah.
So cool.
Okay, that was quick. That was easy. Do all gay people act like girls?
No.
Hell no.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing. Yeah, let's make it clear. There's nothing wrong with a feminine gay
again,
person.
A straight person's gonna ask that question because that's what they're comfortable with. They want to be able to walk in the room and know who's gay or straight. That's what that makes them comfortable. If some homeboys hanging out with each other and they find out that this dude that they've been friends with for years, they done been undressing in front of and all that kind of stuff, thinking and then they find out he's gay. Trust me, it turns into a whole different situation.
So let me ask you a question then. So you have straight friends, right?
Yes.
Do you think that your straight friends would have still been friends with you if they knew you were gay before? Like gay before they became friends with you? Like I have a lot of friends that
the ones who are still in my life, yeah. Because I told them like early on, there was nothing. And then you have to think too, I'm very like that guy who I'm going to tell you what it is. And then if you have an issue with it, that's your problem, not mine.
Because I've experienced where a couple of my friends that will say, well, I will ask him, well, if you knew I was gay before you were my friend, would you have been friends with me? And just the honest answer is probably no. Because I don't know, with straight men, it's like they think that every gay person wants them. It's not the truth.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Especially if
I
you
get
dead
that a
ass
lot.
motherfucking ugly.
But then they always end up being my homies. I promise you. So many girls, they boyfriends be like,
It's like we don't have a standard. Like, we just want everybody man we see, like, because we gay.
I have really high standards, by the way, people. So, I mean, just because you're a guy doesn't mean that I'm going to want you, because I probably won't. I'd probably take all your money, though. But that's neither here nor there.
Last question out of this segment. Does a gay relationship work the same as a heterosexual relationship?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Because it's just like being black in America. I feel like we have to, I don't want to say be precautious, but that's the only word I can think of right now as far as like the spaces that we step into. Like a straight couple never has to worry about walking down the street holding hands. They never think twice about it, but
getting married and stuff like that. They don't have to think.
You are gay and you're with your partner or whatever, and you're walking down the street. If you're in the wrong neighborhood, honey, you can end up in a ditch. So
that is true.
That
to
is
a certain extent.
Yeah, but I mean, I still say yes.
Because in heterosexual relationships, even though when we start talking about, let's say, a racially correct heterosexual relationship in their eyes. Because there are a lot of my friends that I know that are interracial couples who get the same attitude and looks as two gay men walking down the street together. So it depends on what the caveat is, because you can still get it from both sides.
Yeah, I agree, but but the question was, do they operate the same? And I still say they don't.
We may have our differences, but
Yeah.
we still have our same drama as you do.
Yeah.
We still have our relationship issues as you do. We all are human. We have
somebody still gonna have to take out the trash.
Somebody got to do.
Somebody got to rake the yard.
Exactly.
You taking out the trash, Brandon?
Somebody's gonna cook more than the other one. I mean, somebody gonna leave their clothes in the bathroom.
Right. Somebody gonna leave this
we
up.
We still have those same. It's the same thing. We still cuddle just like you do when you watch TV. We still do all that stuff. It's not like we have to go through a portal and grab some stuff that we do so much different. We're not aliens. We're pretty much the same. We have some differences, but it's not that vast.
I agree with Bobby. All right, I want to go to another segment. Let's talk about DL men. Let's see how this goes. Are DL men dangerous?
They can be, yes.
I think they are dangerous.
I've dated a few.
Very
well,
dangerous.
I ain't gonna say dated, but I've dealt with a few.
There's a lot of experience where sometimes DL men is struggling with their sexuality, and then it's just, I don't know, it's like they will like want to chill with you, and then they get angry and mad, and they want to cause harm to you. So I believe that can be very dangerous, very, very dangerous. That's
Well,
why
you gotta be
like
strong.
dangerous physically, or like dangerous in the
dangerous.
broad
Period.
sense? Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they can be very dangerous. If they feel like any doubt that you may expose them in any type of way, there's been certain situations where they can off your ass very quickly, or cause. So I don't.
It's dangerous, but I think it's dangerous. I've been in those
we touched
predicaments.
on this conversation too, though. But a lot of DL men, it goes back to upbringing as well. If you live in a household with people who were shunning gay folk, if you're gay, it's an abomination. If it's blah blah blah, and then you have to think too, when we see these black women, as well as black men, who when they hear about somebody's gay, and they're in the company of their friends, and you're bashing someone who's homosexual, that makes it even worse for them to come out. Makes them even more afraid for them to be exposed. So yeah, they want to try to hold on to their identity because they don't want to look as less than in everybody's life, in the eyes of people who are in their life. So that's why they are dangerous as they are, because the only factor is they don't want to be exposed.
Well, shit, I feel like I'm dangerous, period. Because you, baby, I'm going to tell you right now, you walk up on me and you DL and you be like, I don't want you to out me. Well, baby, I'm not finna be in no closet neither, but we still finna go and eat though, right? Okay. And after we get done, if you try some shit, I will run you over, and I got GPS on my phone, and everybody's going to know where I'm at, so they're going to come looking for you.
I mean, I guess they could be dangerous. I actually dealt with the DL man for a good amount of time. Longer than
that's a very good segue into my next question. Have you guys dealt with the DL man before? Go ahead and explain that experience.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, young and dumb. I thought I was in love with this man. I mean, really so much of my life, like the good bit of my 20s, was dealing with that bullshit and thinking that it was going to change when, you know, and now I realize I never met any of his friends, his family. You know, it was just too much, but I was just like holding on in hopes that, you know, things would change or get better. And then when it ended, I look back on it now, you know, they say hindsight is 20/20, and I was just like, I thought I would be so devastated when it ended, and I was just like, oh, I'm free. Yeah, but I don't recommend it, especially if you're out.
And Aaron, what about you? Have you experienced? You have not?
No, I'm not. I've never been attracted to like the DL kind of person. Now, if we want to talk about sexual relations, have I? Yes, but as far as like relationship wise or anything like that, no.
Brandon?
Of course I have. Oh my gosh.
Multiple times, one time?
It was a few. It was a few.
Tell me one experience. How was that experience?
It was actually pretty great. Very lucrative. He definitely paid me a lot. He didn't have to tell me anything about anybody. I was okay with that. But I already knew because I had already done my own research. So I mean, I was pretty okay with it. Like I was fine. He paid me and I was great. We had our relations. It was great. It was pretty great.
I think most I don't want to say all, but I think most gay men or gay people have dealt with at least one DL person in their life. I definitely have as well. And the one I was with, they used the Bible as a weapon. You'd be like, I'm not going to be doing
a weapon too.
Back then I wasn't as intelligent. I was like 20, 19
You ain't got to be
old.
intelligent to use it as
Back
a weapon.
then I needed to.
Okay. Well, then there's that.
So they used to be like, oh, we're not going to be doing this for a long time. And, you know, it's just the flesh and that's all it is. And then they come over here bothering me.
Right. So pay for that flesh.
How old were they?
We were the same age. So I was like, no, I think I was 21 and they were older 21.
What's an older 21, 22?
No, I'm closer to being 22. I'm a July.
Okay.
Don't get me counting and shit like that.
Okay.
Yes, basically they were a little bit older than me and I was a couple months younger than them. Yeah, great experience. Ended it great. No, it didn't. Ended in flames.
Same age.
Next one. Okay, if you have a friend, a girl, and you find out that her man is gay, hide in the closet, do you tell her?
Yes.
Bobby?
I'm telling.
Is this a casual friend?
No, this is a friend. This is a friend. Anything that you classify as a friend.
Okay, like is like this person is attracted to the same sex in the past? Like it's something that they've done?
No, you find this person is still they're cheating.
They're cheating. Oh, if they're cheating, then yeah, I'm gonna have to tell my girl.
Okay.
It's not so much as the fact that it's with the same sex. It's just like, oh, you playing in my friend's face.
We a hummingbird
I
over
don't
here.
fuck with that. Oh, excuse my.
You're fine. What about you, Aaron?
Oh yeah, I'm telling him.
You telling?
Yeah. Even if I lose the friendship, because then I know we weren't really friends, I should be able to come to you and tell you, especially because I would want vice versa. Mm-hmm. If you see mine doing something they ain't got no business, I would expect you to come and tell me. So I would tell her.
We had that combo last night.
I don't know if I'm telling.
What?
I don't know if I'm telling.
Why?
That's not your friend.
It's not. I don't know. It's like it's the whole thing.
Do you think it would cause a problem?
I think a lot of black women cannot handle them knowing that they've slept with a gay black man and then another gay man telling that, oh, I saw your nigga fucking.
So would you say no because of the repercussions of you telling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's probably why.
Makes
But
sense.
again, is this more so about him being gay or him cheating?
I think that goes back to the whole DL and are they dangerous? Because he's probably DL and he probably doesn't want to get into that whole whirlwind.
That's
of
a big.
That's
That's a very big mess right there. Oh yeah, go to your girlfriend, and be like, hey, listen, I saw your man having sex with a man. They have to be able to process it and then go back to that man and be like, well, he said this. They're going to deny it. She's going to come back to me. Do you have proof? No, I got proof. Oh, well, why you? It's. I feel like it's a lot
and then
to
I'm
that.
going to say, don't worry about it. I thought we had a friendship where I can come to you and tell you something, and you would believe me because I had your best interest at heart. But I see that is not the case. Please enjoy your relationship and your life, and I wish you well. And I will buy out because at the end of the day, that is not my friend. If any of my friends come to me who are truly my friends and tell me something, I'm going to ask the other party. But I can also go to my friend and say, hey, we finna sit in front of him. You just told me XYZ. He said he didn't. What happened? I'm going to entrust to my friend, know that they're not going to sit here and lie to me on something like that. But if you get mad and get, oh, why are you bringing this to me and da-da-da-da-da, then we're not friends. We're associates who happen to just hang out together a lot.
Because it's the battle between, do you believe your friend or do you believe your man?
And that's something that you would have to make the choice with. But it would be a no-brainer for me. I'm going to tell my friend because I would want them to come and tell me. It's my choice to believe what they say or not. Now, I could sit here and tell you, okay, friend, thank you for telling me, but I don't think he done that. Or then at that point, you should be like, oh, okay, all right, friend, talk to you tomorrow.
Hello.
And leave the situation alone. Let them deal with that situation, but at least, exactly, you've done your part.
I agree. What's the difference from a discreet man and a down low man?
Oh, discreet. They're not discreet.
They're different.
They're different. They're two
I guess
different.
discreet is more so like my business is my business.
Right.
DL is more so like
mind your business.
I ain't saying you.
DL is
away from
I
me.
do not. I'm undercover. I do not want anybody to know about what I am doing. Discreet is I'm discreet with mine. I don't want everybody in my business. But if somebody found out that I was gay, I don't care. It's different.
Go ahead and give the definition.
Those are fun.
You agree, Bobby?
I agree.
I agree. Brandon, you agree?
Highly.
Me too. Okay. Are there any signs where you can notice a DL man? Like signs where you be like, this man is.
Child, they said there
Me
are,
personally,
but, you know,
I can't.
I have a
don't
whole
know.
book about it. That book.
I got it. I was reading it.
I was like, I just never. It's just always missed me somehow.
Me too.
I've never. I just be like a deer in headlights. What's happening?
Yeah.
What?
But however, I have read the whole like Elin Harris. He's a gay author.
I love him.
His first 2 or 3 books, they talk about like the DL men, the gay community coming out, spirituality and coming out. Like it's very detailed. Are they fictional? I would say they're fictional.
But they're based in like, truths and things that happen. They're really good, but some of the language you can tell even as he's writing that he's like uncomfortable with some things like about sex and like he won't use like technical terms or slang terms. It's
I
like,
agree.
girl,
I agree.
Say that word.
right?
Yeah. I agree.
He's such a
It was a
dick.
very heavy like bisexual battle,
Yeah.
like in a lot of his books, and I agree.
But they are well written.
They are.
Basketball Jones was a good one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Basketball Jones is one of my favorite ones. But hey,
That was his last
right
one,
there,
wasn't
that DL man,
What?
he took
And then that old
took
nasty
care of this
witch.
guy, put him up in his own place. I mean, sitting stipend and I mean everything. Had a whole wife and kid. He got pregnant. And, oh, that book is real good. But that was like that was also an epitome of a DL man. Very much so.
Do you guys feel as though the phrase DL man is more attached to the black community than the white community?
I think so.
I do.
I do.
I can agree with that.
Because I feel like anytime I hear DL, they're talking about a black man.
Yeah,
I think
I
it also imposes a bit of like masculinity too. It's like it's almost like a type. It's like because even like in some of the apps they have that listed as like what's your type?
Yeah.
Like are you this?
Well, I don't have any apps.
DL is a you know. In
But
my past
and
life.
two, in our lifestyle, when you say DL man, they automatically pinpoint
Some
that
hood
with
nigga.
masculinity.
Hood nigga.
Yeah, had masculinity, he got to be masculine. He hood or something like that. If he did,
Right, and half the time it be these executives.
Yeah.
them too. But it's also the dope boy on the corner who like to get his cheeks beat in, or do the beating.
Whichever they decide.
Okay, well, that was a cute segment. Okay. I'm going to move over to a segment called Speak On It. It's probably more big topics in the community that we may have heard of and things like that. We kind of touched on this one already, but I really want to ask is why do some black women find gay men competition? Like I had somebody literally tell me, I'm not going to say her name, because she finds me more of not to be, I guess, as feminine as she's used to. She was like, I wouldn't want a gay man around my man because I feel like it's competition. I didn't understand that.
Oh, well, in that scenario, she needs to see a therapist because she has some real issues she's dealing with for her to even put it in that term right there. But as far as competition, I mean, I think that could be like with any relationship too, because there's no way you can compete with that. Like a woman can't compete with what another man is doing for her.
I would.
I mean,
I personally wouldn't.
I don't. I just don't see it.
I think it goes back to what you were talking about as far as ignorance and people fearing what they don't understand. And that's a really ignorant statement.
Mm-hmm.
And like your man is gonna do what he gonna do regardless.
But I think it also could go based off of like some of the actions that one may produce. Like I guess because I've been in that type of situation before where I was looked at as competition, just because my ass may have been a little bit bigger than hers, or dancing wise or something like that. I can't shake my ass like that, or whatever the case may have been. Her dude kind of may have looked like.
Okay, but the thing is, like, if you're
but I didn't see it.
I feel like there's always like a
care.
battle between black gay people and black women.
But again, it goes back. See, that's some psychological stuff that's going on. It's insecurities within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can only go by the straight women that are in my life. They don't operate like that. I have majority of my sisters are like married, or they have men, or whatever the case may be. Those are my brothers. Like we hang out. Like there's no issue of them looking at me and saying, well, I don't want him around my man because blah, blah, blah. First of all, they know that their men are comfortable with their sexuality. First off, it takes a real man to be around gay men because they're comfortable with their sexuality. I can hang out with you. I can have drinks with you. I can stay the night at your house and know that there's nothing going to happen because I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I know that we're okay.
Do you think they're scared that their man may be low-key undercover?
But
yes,
again,
I think that's a fact.
Something that's still an insecurity because you would have had to see something in your man that would make that clock even tick on like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see these kind of aspects or characteristics in your husband or your boyfriend, it wouldn't even be a thought, because in your mind you'll be like, oh, child, I know my boyfriend ain't doing that, or my man ain't doing that. There has to be something that he is doing to make you want to be like, look, I think he'll low-key kind of deal with this dude because something's popping up with him that's making you think that way.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like black women give gay people a hard time. Probably harder than black men, in my opinion. I feel like they're the first people to call. You get in an argument with a black girl, they're the first one to call you a sissy.
What
That word. Oh,
what kind of black women do you be hanging around?
Oh, that
it's just from my experience. They're just been a lot harder. Like you would be like, well, I don't want you to do that gay stuff around my kid. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just, I don't know. And I don't get that type of energy from black men.
Yeah, find some new friends. That's see, stuff like that really bothers me because your child growing up and being around another homosexual man has nothing to do with what he's going to turn out to be. He's going to be what he's going to be.
Yeah.
You can't beat it out of him. You can't football and baseball it out of him. You can't do none of that. He's still going to be what he's going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I guess I see both sides of it. Like if I was a parent, children learn based off of what they see, what they're around, their environment. So some things, yes, granted, it just may be that, hey, my child is a little flamboyant. It is what it is. I can accept it. However, a lot of parents nowadays don't like their children to watch certain things because of the things that happen in them. So, I mean, if I was a parent, I wouldn't necessarily want my child to sit up here and watch SpongeBob, knowing that SpongeBob and Patrick together, knowing that they're sitting up here like, hey, we're bumping sponge and whatever. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. However, if my child turns out to be gay or whatever the case may have been, fine, cool, whatever. I am absolutely here for it.
So
I don't feel
how long
like
did it
see,
take
I
y'all to
don't feel-
realize that Bert and Ernie were a couple?
I honestly,
No, right. So we're talking about children
Yes.
who are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old watching. They're not sitting here saying Patrick and SpongeBob are together. They're just not doing that. I think sometimes our complex of thinking about things get too deep and technical about it. Like we really sitting here thinking my 17-year-old child sitting here saying Patrick and SpongeBob is bumping. They doing something. They not thinking that way.
I think it's more so for the younger ones.
Actually, SpongeBob was conceptualized to be like that. It was supposed to be like one of those adult shows, and it got picked up by Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, some of the themes are still there for that. But honestly, I didn't think anything like that until I actually found out that's how the show was originally meant to be. Like the
Right.
Ren and Stimpy show, like that shit that we watched as kids, a lot of that stuff was very inappropriate.
and
But
you
it
didn't know until you got
contribute-
older, though.
Yeah, it didn't contribute to my sexuality. I honestly
Yeah.
don't feel. I mean, I understand what you're saying as far as like definitely kids pick up and they are like little sponges and they pick up a lot of things. Like, because I grew up in a house full of women, so I definitely have some feminine mannerisms from time to time. But I don't think that dictated my sexuality because.
Right.
I mean, like I said, like we talked about earlier, like how long we've known how gay we were gay or this, that, and the third. So, what was the original question?
I think you gave the answer to the original question. Okay, what's something that you wish would change in the community?
Labels.
ignorance.
Labels. Why are we putting people in the box? Labels. We just had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it weird that another feminine man likes another feminine man? Why is it weird that a trans man likes a trans man? Why is it weird that a transgender woman wants to be with another transgender woman? Why is that weird? When our community is so sexually overted, like till it's ridiculous. So I think when we come to things like that, we automatically pigeonhole people and put them in a box of this is where you're supposed to be because you're feminine, or this is what you're supposed to like because you're a trans woman, or this is what you're supposed to like because you're masculine. So it's like not normal for two masculine men to like each other and want to be in a relationship with each other. They have to figure out what to call that. Now you got these new terminology. I'm sorry, but I'm real, like, it used to be straight, gay, or bi. That's what you were. You were one of those things. Now we've kind of peeled everything out to give it a label so we feel okay with it. This soft top or what they call it, power bottoms, and all this kind of stuff. Now they got all these different labels with these to give these people to, and I'm confused, and I'm a gay man, and I'm confused by a lot of stuff that the labels that are out. I don't get it. So like when somebody come to me and be like, well, what is so and so? I don't even know. I know I'm supposed to know, but I don't. I just want the labels to stop. I think when you get into emotional and spiritual connection with a person, the sexuality part of it is not important. It's all love at the end of the day. I want labels to like just die.
I think, and I could be wrong, and I apologize in advance, but what you're saying is you want people, not necessarily the labels, but not to hold them so much as to the stereotypes that are associated with those labels. Because if we didn't have labels, like the question about earlier, one of the first questions we asked about, like, are you a bottom or a top, X, Y, and Z, what your position is, then that would be mute. Like if we didn't have those things to establish, like, well, what is your position of preference? Because I feel like it's important to have. I feel like it's important because it just gives you a groundwork to understand. Like, but just because somebody is a bottom doesn't mean that they should only ever bottom. Like, and there's a label for that. But I mean, it doesn't. It's
called verse.
It's called
verse bottom,
verse top, things of that nature. But I'm saying, like, I feel like I appreciate everything you were saying, but I don't know if it necessarily is about the labels, more so the stereotypes that are associated with them. Because, like,
I probably would say stereotypes.
Yeah,
because
because
the label,
like
I'm not gonna
honestly, because if like how you say people are emerging and there's different names for different genders. There's gender queer. There's non-binary,
It's too
all
much.
kinds of, but that's how this person wants to be seen in this world. And I feel like disregarding someone, how they want to claim themselves, is not going to help us. Like, it's not on everybody to know what every label is, but we just kind of have to be like, oh, okay, well, what are you, just like when you misgender a trans person, be like, oh, I'm sorry, what are your pronouns? That's a thing that people ask now. They put in their social media profiles. Why is it depressing?
Because
So if we went with that, because I don't want you to deviate too far from that, but if we went with that, so let's go back to even if we had the labeling of top and bottom, because we need, as you say,
a foundation,
a foundation of what we need to go off of. What was the purpose of saying, okay, well, you're a top, he's the bottom, and leave it at that? Now we have, oh, he's a soft top, or this is a femme top, or this is a masculine bottom. Why do we need that?
Because
why now we still need those labels?
Because sometimes people have like those preferences, just like how some people only like masculine men. By people are automatically assume if you're a top, you're masculine. But there's a lot of femme tops who be putting it down in the bedroom. And I'm not saying that you need a label for it, but those soft tops, they proudly wear that badge. And it's like, well, I'm a soft top. Get into it. There's communities of people who are turned on by that. And it's not necessarily like a thing that has to be, I don't know how to say it, but I just feel like getting rid of labels is not going to help.
I think the stereotypes behind it.
But the stereotypes behind them, definitely we can shoot those out the window. Because it's like gay used to mean automatically that you were disease-ridden, that you were out here messing with kids. This is and the third, and that's just not true. That's not indicative of the majority of gay people. So
stereotypes, maybe?
I can go on forever.
Okay.
I'm gonna bow out on this.
Aaron said he said what you said. He gonna stick to it. Next one here. Okay. Just try to like educate the people out there. Why is knowing your status in the LGBT community so important?
Because it is very important to know your status.
Tell the people.
I almost cussed you.
I know you did. Educate the people. Come on. You got it.
I had to come back to the
I know you
same
did. It's okay. It's okay.
Feel me.
This is a safe place here.
Know your status, people.
It is very important to know your status here. Like I think he just said, in the gay lifestyle, sex is very important, and let's keep it at that. So if you're out here having sex, and you're definitely having unprotected sex, it's definitely important that you are getting tested. Go ahead, check out my girl Kyla Nicole
Santi.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Gonna butcher her
Actually,
name.
she's now Mrs. Sawmill 2021.
We love Kyla here.
Woo-hoo.
That's our girl. But yeah, it's very important for you to know your status. Why is it important to know the status, Bobby?
I mean, more so for yourself, just so that you can keep yourself healthy, but
health as well.
Obviously, because if you're any type of decent human being, you don't want to transmit something to the next person, and then they unknowingly transmit it to the next person. So, knowledge is power.
Aaron, what about you?
I agree.
You agree? Let me ask another question then. I want to say this. Okay, we all know about HIV and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So how do you guys feel about maybe possibly dealing with people with HIV?
I'm okay with it.
You okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I
explain.
have before.
Go into that. Okay.
I have before. It's all about education. So the ignorant, of course, will act ignorantly towards someone else having the virus. But if you're educated and you know how to protect yourself, you're wearing protection, you know what some things to look for, what they're going through, if you're going to appointments with them, things of that nature, and educating yourself, I don't see why it should be an issue.
Right. Oh my God, you have cancer. I can't date you.
Yeah,
what?
I don't see why.
But a lot of people. First of all, I'm saying that I have no problem if that's what you have. There's certain ways that I can protect myself by using PrEP and things like that. I think as soon as somebody hear HIV, it's like, okay, that's a wrap. I can't even say hello to you.
Too, there's a stigma with that.
Right. That's
when you hear somebody got HIV, most people automatically mean, oh, they're a hoe.
Right.
And
they done
like,
been around. They done slept
case.
with a whole bunch of people unprotected, so that's why they got it. Like, I think that's crazy too. But
watch pose people.
What a lot of people don't realize is that, especially if you are promiscuous and using the apps and this, that, and the third, you more likely have come across somebody who has something, may not be HIV, but somebody who has been infected. It's just that you don't know. And I think it's kind of like, well, ignorance is bliss type of thing, where you're just like, well, they said no, so it's fine. Or, I don't feel different, so it's fine. But yeah, it's a huge stigma, and it's definitely been like a journey of understanding. Just like you said, it has to educate yourself. But yeah, I would be in a relationship with someone who was HIV positive.
Okay, that's good. One more of this segment. Thank you so much. Black Lives Matter movements. Black Lives Matter movement. They say it includes all black people, but does it really include the?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Set it off for me.
I feel like it does.
Oh, this conversation.
Absolutely.
You feel like it does? I feel like it's supposed to, but it doesn't.
See, what we're getting into when we say all black people, it does include all black people. It's not and when I say all black people, I mean all black people. What we're trying to break BLM off to be is sections, and that's not what it is. You're trying to say, oh, BLM don't like gay people. BLM don't like it, but that's not what the movement was about.
That's not what it's about.
BLM was about police brutality against black people. Period. That's what BLM was.
I agree with it was supposed to be that.
Yeah.
But they will shun a gay person or a trans person very quickly out of that little
Deshaun, what's his name? The guy who was who was like heading it when it first started, like in Chicago. He was attacked and ridiculed by the people that he was standing up and fighting for just because they found out that he was bisexual. Like his own people. Like I can't remember.
There was
his
a guy
last
here
name.
as well.
No, he wears like he was always wearing like the little bubble jacket or whatever with the cut off sleeves. Like it was a whole article, big thing about it. But it's not about it being into sections. It's just that when it says Black Lives Matter, it should mean all lives. And I believe that's what the message is supposed to be. But the people who are, behind it, or like, because when Black gay people get attacked by police, when trans people are getting killed every day, and it's not in mainstream media, attacked by police and killed every day, and you don't see people being reposted or the same type of outrage when you see for cis hetero Black people. And it's not, I'm not gonna say that it's like a thing where they're actively shunning gay people and trans people, but it's just like the act of ignoring it. It's like, oh, well, that's not she gay, or she was dressing like a man, so she got what she deserved.
It's like when you go into church. You could come into the church, but as long as you're doing that gay stuff, you're fine. And I feel like that's what. I agree with you. It was supposed to be that.
They're keeping that under wraps very well then, because I saw very, very few articles or very few news feeds about a homosexual man or a transgender woman being shot and killed by a police officer. So they're doing great with covering it up.
It's not in the media because they're like they don't care. Like it's not a big deal. That's
hell, half the time it ain't even the cops doing it for the transgenders. It's the straight DL community or whatever other community I want to give them.
Right.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about BLM, that's a whole nother.
That's what I mean. Me personally, I feel like Black Lives Matter includes everyone. I just feel as if like the world is super sensitive, especially the LGBTQIA 1.29632 whatever. That it's just beyond me.
I feel like I agree with what you're saying, that it was built to be for all Black gay people.
The LGBT
but I don't
decided
feel
to segregate themselves.
I don't feel like that they tried to. Listen, let's not act like we don't know what Black people, how they act and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I feel like if it's a group of say if you go to a protest, right, and it's a whole bunch of straight Black men and a whole bunch of trans women come in that mix, they're not going to want to be intertwined with those people. They're going to be like, oh, you were born a man? Oh, I can't mess with you. You got to go over there.
That's a case-by-case scenario.
That's not a case-by-case. We were talking about the whole community
of be all of them. Like, there's going to be
it depends on how you carry yourself.
Because we're all going to have those people who are just ignorant.
Not all trans people are passable.
Absolutely. However, it depends on how you carry yourself. I, for one, am not a super masculine looking guy. However, I've walked into plenty of straight communities, establishments, and when I tell you welcome with open arms, like it was nothing.
Right.
why does
They're
it have to
comfortable. See, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. They're comfortable with you when you walk into the room because they can say, okay, he's gay. I'm good with that. But if they see a masculine man come in the room, they don't know what he is. So they're going to accept him and what's up, bro, and all that. And then when they find out later on, it's like, man, he gay. You know, it's that. So like that, like I said, we fear what we don't understand. So they're comfortable with knowing when you walk in the room, oh yeah, he gay. We good with that. The females, oh, he gay. The men, they see you, oh, he gay. So I know how to handle myself around him. But if you come in there, you're masculine, and they know nothing about you, they can't tell if you're gay. It becomes an issue once they find out, because now they feel like you tried to trick us. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get on the microphone and say, hey, it's a gay man in the room. But that's how they act. So they're okay with you when you walk into a straight establishment and you're flamboyant or whatever the case may be. They good with that.
You gonna start doing what?
Butching up on you niggas walking in the room like yo. See what y'all do then.
I would ask you.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Friend.
Okay. We're gonna.
I'm a chameleon, y'all. I can do.
I know you can. We have no doubt. I'm just asking you not to do that.
Faith the size of a mustard seed is all you need.
Okay, moving on to what I want to call the rapid fire questions. We're gonna ask you a couple questions. Let's see how fast we can go here. Okay.
All right.
I'll try.
Okay. Bet. I don't know if how fast you're gonna do these questions, but oh well. Do you think that one can be born gay?
Yes.
Yes.
How else are you supposed to do it?
Thank you. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are some ignorant stereotypes that you feel needs to be changed about the gay lifestyle?
That gay people like children.
100%.
All gay men are flamboyant.
God darn, you guys took mine.
Yeah, they took both mine.
Fast.
Diseases.
We do have makeup only.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Snatched. Why do you think that gay relationships don't last? Too much sex.
What?
That's why I believe it's too much sex.
Where?
Just it's too much. It's very sexualized, I feel. This is my opinion.
Okay,
go ahead, give
right.
yours. You feel me?
I think that they don't last as long because of, shit. Sometimes you just
they won't
see other
fuck
stuff.
somebody else. That's what I was saying.
Communication.
But that, I guess.
But that too.
You said with that too.
Yeah.
No.
All the horniness.
Yeah, I feel like a man, like no matter if you're gay or whatever, a man is still a man. And
But I think that's any man then.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I feel like even if a man, because for some reason people think that gay people are different than a regular man. Like, we're going to still want to have sex, probably even more than what a heterosexual relationship probably wants to have sex.
I don't know.
So someone has to be submissive. That one person can't be dominant all the time. There are going to be some moments where you have to bow out and just say, we're going to agree to disagree. And I think by two men being in a relationship, we're still two men. We're alpha males. We're still two men who still want to be listened to, who know you're going to hear what I got to say. No, you're going to hear what I got to say. No, bro, you're going to hear what I got to say. So you get that kind of battle going on.
The dominant.
So that's
compromise is what you're saying.
right. Compromise. We don't want to do that. But
Ain't no
again, it goes
compromising
back to
over here,
being
cuz. I'm
submissive. You have to submit to certain things as well. At some point, you both are going to have to submit to something. You're going to have to be able to compromise in some sort. And sometimes we just don't want to do that as men. That's why when we look at certain heterosexual, going back to those relationships, a woman will submit to a man on certain things because, he's a man. That's what he's supposed to do. Or he's supposed to take care of this. Or he's supposed to handle that. So I think that's why their relationships kind of last a little bit longer than ours, because they know how to play a role and stick with that role. And gay men are a little bit different.
Right, because I'm going to be a bitch one minute and I'll be like, bruh.
You're going to be a lady today and a lady tomorrow, Brandon.
What? I'm a chameleon, okay?
You have something to say, Bobby? Okay. Do you believe in when a person says they're 100% top?
No.
And do you believe people lie about their positions?
Yes.
That's two
They
questions.
lie about their
Yes.
positions all the time.
So you guys don't believe there's a 100%?
I believe there's 100%.
I do believe that as well. You said there's not?
I don't believe it just because I am a person that will push the envelope. So, I mean, you're going to scream you're 100% top. However, I'm going to try my luck.
I mean, I believe they exist, but I feel like it's like a
Rare?
unicorn.
What happens there? You
They
said a unicorn.
I feel like most tops who are predominantly tops are like 99.3%.
I have met
like they tried it and they
I have
disliked
met
it.
1% of that 100% top. Like,
yeah,
I haven't.
it's-
I don't know many. I know like a handful.
and I feel like
That
that's
many.
okay.
That's 100%
but,
top.
You know, people, but it goes back to like the bottom shaming thing where it's like, no, I'm a top, I'm full top, and that's why they lie about it, because it's like, well, okay, but sometimes there's a lot of tops on the social medias that be like, I top tops because
I wanna
you're
see
top,
it.
you're bottom for somebody.
But that doesn't make
Most of
them a
them, not
top.
all.
I've never understood that I top thing. Well, he's a verse top at that point, since y'all want to do these labels.
Right.
So that doesn't make him 100% top then. But I don't think it should be an issue as to what they want to do sexually. But do I think 100% tops exist? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that as well. You got something to say before we move on?
No, I was just going to say, what is 100%?
Okay. Okay. Huh?
What is 100%?
Person that doesn't take dick.
Okay, that's one thing.
He only tops,
Okay.
like only ever.
Tops.
Right, but if he doing other stuff in that bedroom that ain't
No,
supposed
And
then
see,
that
that's-
becomes
See,
a
thank you so
label
much.
for you.
That's-
Oh,
See,
okay.
that's where we go back to the labels, because then that makes him an oral top if he's sucking dick.
I feel like if it's like the thing that you do
Okay.
most of the time sexually, but this is like a every once in a while blue moon type thing. So like, for what I'm trying to say is, and yes, 100% tops exist, sure, but I'm saying like for most, a good bit of tops, they might, under the right circumstances for the right dude, they might bottom for them. They won't do it every time. Like most of the times, they're like, "No, I'm finna stick you, bend over." But for in a certain circumstance, they will
I don't like
bottom.
this.
And
So
that's
that
what
still
I'm saying.
makes them
It
a
doesn't make them
verse
versatile bottom.
top.
It doesn't make them a verse top.
So you're
They
saying as
top
soon as a
majority
person
of the time,
so
but every blue
Yeah,
moon
it-
and now and then
it will make them a
they
verse
will
top.
bottom.
For
That
the
would
right
still
verse.
make them a.
Yeah, it will
that's
make
why
them a verse
verse
top.
See, a verse is somebody who bottoms just as much as they top. That's a verse. When you start to do the label of a verse bottom, he verses but bottoms.
majority of the time.
Yeah, or sometimes because he's versatile, but he's a verse bottom, so he bottoms the most. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So then when you get into verse top, is somebody who tops majority of the time, but every now and then bottoms. That's
Yeah.
where we get into those labels. So that's not 100% top. If every blue moon he say, "Oh, for this dude, like I'm really feeling him, so I'm gonna let him stab me," and then you go to the next dude or the next person,
Don't
and you
stab
be
me.
like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm feeling him too, so I'm gonna let." It doesn't matter if he's done it if he only does it 3 times a year. That would still make him a verse.
So as soon
top.
as a person takes dick up their ass, they are considered to be a verse.
If it's a one-time experience, I don't
No.
believe
If
so.
it's first time, no.
But if you've done this 3, 4, 5 times,
Yes.
it's something about it that you like, but it has to be the right moment or the right person. So that still makes you a verse top, because you're dominantly a top. But every now and then when you get that moment, you're gonna bottom. So that makes you a verse top.
Okay.
Get that itch. Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Next question here. Some of these last questions here are just like random questions here. Would you trust a partner that cheated on a previous partner?
No.
I would.
No, I think it would still be, and I don't want to see that. That's the whole saying that once a cheater, always a cheater, because I don't know. That's a touch.
I'm saying I would, just because what you did with in your last relationship before me ain't got nothing to do with now. Because I have been in a predicament where a ex was definitely one of those like, all the ones before them got beat up, left on the side of the road, and it ain't happened to me. Ever.
I don't know. I can't say, because I feel like it would always be in the back of my mind.
exactly.
I would
Thank
agree
you.
with that. I
agree
that.
with Bobby. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. That's my final answer. Do you believe in 2 men raising a kid? or child, excuse me?
I'm not opposed to it. I think it would be a great thing because have me and mine raise a child. I guarantee you going to know who my child is. My child's going to be a force.
Aaron?
So this is a huge touching one for me too, only because I'm very overprotective about people who are in my life, very much so. And with my kid, I think it would be to like the 800th power. And I just know how growing up, how cruel kids could be. And dealing with that whole thing of him and his friends, like asking him, well, why you got two daddies? Well, you're going to be just like them. And it's just like, I know I'm that kind of person who, I don't know. That's kind of rough to sit down and have a conversation with your kid and say, Uncle Lorenzo ain't really your uncle. this is daddy's, companion. You got to have that conversation with them. It's a lot that comes along with that. For those who are ready, I applaud them. I know people in my life now who has daughters and sons, and they're doing an amazing job. But for me personally, I do believe that people can have children, and I'm all for it, and raise kids. I'm seeing it happening. Myself, just don't know.
What about you?
Yeah, I believe in it. Yeah,
I believe in it as well. Okay. What's something a gay man would do to get your attention?
I don't know. I'm not thirsty. I've never been that type.
Lord
I don't know.
Jesus. I'm just talking about in your whole life, my guy.
Okay, well,
what's something that a gay man used to do to get your attention? I feel like it's eye contact. They will stare at you.
Because I'm going to be like, stop looking at me. Do you want me to do a trick?
Bobby.
I don't know.
Do you have an answer to my actual question I asked?
Just kind of like
I do know.
Or just giving me like attention, but
Bobby, let me take this one. So what a gay guy has done to get my attention has tried to he's tried to be like mean to me before, and he almost got beat the fuck up. However, after the fact, I'm like, bro, you did all that. You so childish.
You can fight.
Get out my face. Try it and find out.
And I get what you're saying. It's a way of seeking attention. But
yes,
most of the time, in my experience, most people really stare at you, and then they'll throw you
like I said, I feel like it's really the eye contact. I remember one time, quick story.
Very eye contact.
Is that an old school thing? Because I don't know nothing about it.
That's
because
you don't pay attention. You're
being funny.
Because like when I tell you, I did not find George Lopez attractive at all. But then I started watching his little show, and then I was like, he's so funny.
I am dead. Take me out now.
Yeah, I think it's the eye contact. It's a lot of my cases in my younger years.
You're not. Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like it's the eye. It's like I remember one time I was walking to the bus stop, right, and it was this Puerto Rican kid. Puerto Rican boy, man, whatever, was outside. He was playing with I think his niece and nephew, and I was just walking by, and I just felt eyes were staring at me. And I'm looking back. Yeah. He kept looking back, and then he grabbed his stuff. I was like, "What's going on in the world?"
But see me, I'm paranoid. That ain't gonna work on me. I'd be scared.
Oh, see, that work on me too. I'll kill too. I was like, "Oh no,
you finna kill me?" I don't like making eye contact with
It's a certain way somebody look at you. You can tell if they're looking at you to beat you,
right,
to kill you.
They be like, "Come here, let me blow in your eye. You got some in your eye, let me blow in that."
But it's very much so eye contact because ain't no actual straight man gonna sit there and stare at you and then follow you while he's staring at you with his eyes because he wants you to see him looking. Yeah.
Okay. This is like a phrase. You are a sucker for what?
Oh, I'm a sucker for Tank. I'm a sucker for a singer.
Good teeth. I want good teeth.
Okay.
That's my question. You questioning my question.
I mean, I used to be a sucker for a light-skinned, pretty-eyed guy. However, now I'm a sucker for a singer.
Bobby? Aaron, why you think about it?
Daddies.
Good food.
Good food. Somebody that can cook.
Oh.
He's a manly man. Like the way to his heart is through his stomach.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe a neck tattoo.
A neck tattoo.
See, like that thug passion, love.
Not really though. I just like.
So you like
people
next.
that I have found myself attracted to are not people that I'm initially attracted to, or like I've been involved in, are not people that I'm initially attracted to. So, but yeah, I don't know.
So I say teeth, you say tattoos, you say singer, you say food. Okay. So that was the last part. We got 2 more questions and we're gonna wrap it here. We're gonna wrap it up here in a moment here. What advice would you give someone struggling with their sexuality?
Be true to who you are.
Exactly.
Go ahead, start preaching.
Be true to yourself.
Yeah. Be true to yourself. Don't care about what anybody else thinks of who you are.
At all.
Your validation is for you, not for anybody else.
Yes.
I mean, when I was coming out, I needed validation from my mother because I felt like, hey, I'm a product of her. I mean, yes, I needed validation from my dad as well, but my dad's super, super cool. But it was something about my mother that I needed validation from. So I felt like once I got that, fuck the world.
I just came to a point to where I was just like, look, I'm not hiding nothing. I'm tired of pretending like I'm going with this girl when I'm actually going to see her brother. I was just over all of that. And for the
Not the cousin, Jesus.
for me needing validity from anybody, I told my parents, but I was already prepared that if my parents didn't accept it, I didn't care who wanted to or not, who accepted it or not. It was just at that point to where just be you, accept your lifestyle. Because when I go see God, He's not gonna ask me about you. He only gonna ask me about me. So do you. Be true to you.
Bobby?
I would just say that as impossible as it seems, that like they say, you really do have to be true to yourself, because living a false truth is just never going to get you anywhere. It's never going to bring you any genuine happiness. So it's not going to be easy, but you just have to be yourself and just take it one day at a time. And you realize that you'll probably lose friendships. You'll probably lose,
part of life.
Yeah, that those things are going to happen. But, there's nothing that anyone that can say to you that will like physically kill you. Like, people can say shit all day, but it's not going to make your heart stop. You just keep going.
I agree with all statements that were made at this table. One more question. What is something that if you knew, I'm going to try to write this right because I think I wrote this incorrectly. What's something that if you knew back then would have really helped you maneuver through the lifestyle? For me, here we go. I think when I was younger, I thought, because I'm a Cancer, I'm very sensitive, I thought that having sex with a person would automatically mean that the person would love you. And I forgot when I was younger, I didn't know that a man is still a man, that we talked about earlier. A man is still a man. Sex is not going to keep anybody. So that's my opinion.
That person.
Yeah,
I used to be that person too. I'm not
right,
gonna lie.
right.
I used to be like, once we do it, we together.
Right, that's how it was. But it wasn't like that. And you end up doing crazy shit, beating people up and shit like that.
No.
I went through a lot.
It's because your emotions were tied to your sex for you too.
Right. What about you, Brandy?
If something that I wish I would have known back then that I know now. Fuck these niggas. I don't know. I don't know. I've always been the same. I've been consistent. Like I've always been taught to be very careful, and that was something that my parents raised me to be. So everything that I've done, I've already started it like early on. So I don't know. I've come out the gate kicking, swinging. Like, I don't talk to everybody. I don't deal with everybody. I don't associate with everybody. I don't even walk around saying hey to everybody. But I don't know.
Aaron, what about you?
If I knew back then that I probably would have been that if my family was going to be so accepting of me, I probably would have came on sooner.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. A really good one.
I didn't think about that one either.
Bobby, what about you?
Probably that too. I mean, kind of like Brandon, like I'm not very a super social outgoing person, so I don't really entangle myself in the community like that. So I'm good with the gays because and we see each other.
Yes, my guy. I appreciate you so much for being here, helping me out, because I don't know how to work none of this stuff. Once again, you guys, it's your boy, the Amazing King, coming to you live in color, bringing you that oh so amazing touch. I want to welcome you. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Get Ready For It podcast. Make sure you follow myself at AmazingIam_ on IG. Also, the podcast page at ready4_1. This has been an amazing episode. Bebe, my guy Brandon, where can they find you at on social media?
Hey guys, you can find me on IG, BB1225. You might find me on Facebook under BB Merriweather. However, if you add me, please send me a message. Otherwise, I will not add your ass back.
Aaron, where can the people find you at?
They can find me on Facebook at Aaron Braxton. They can find me on IG or King Mocha. And the same for Twitter, King Mocha as well.
Come on, Mocha.
And Bobby, where can the people find you at?
I'm on Instagram at somebobby12, but
Not
my page is
some.
private and I don't really.
He's not
Not a
adding
lot of
you.
it, just a little bit, just some of it.
Get ready for it. Bye.
Weirdo.